na so ama pounds bed you know eba akwa na ya wada na me da eno ti ye mpuni mpuyi mpensenpensenmu ne ye de bre wo ye nto di pantwe na ya ko ena wo bu ne pasa no concert party sa bre no nei eja ko kofi dai ne fancy ba nya asem ketwa eno ti ya wada bia ya hye ne fa na me ho ne ma hodo esisie penye tsansemu atwam ya kwan ye fa so ba ye Ghana kra in fact se Ghana bakwa semo ankasa no ne bibi mu de ma mo watumi ate ase enti yi dwada bi ya wada bi se o hye ne de na me ho de bre wo ba men wo hye Dr. Dia happy birthday Dr. Dia e wo Dampon Hospital e wo Spintex Road Dr. Dia ne wa woda happy birthday to you from mama Esther sa na afia mankwa tamaklo won ne bekon mountain so e de kan wadwene e bebra obesi mountain so ne ma bedi nkomo ene cycle ne epie mo nti obepie mo cycle a na so so atumi ahia na nsem ampanifo bedi ho nkomo enne no na wo so wa kire wadwene wo se me wo hye ASP Gertrude Asamoah head of accident investigation traffic unit e wo Accra Central MTTD ene wa woda wo se me wo hye happy birthday emfa emanu nti mu mienu ene ye wohim ene dwumadie no ne ma me ensa ne ye bedwene ho de edi kan ne se enura obi ehunu de ekọ so ene igri kom se wo ha mu chichemu aduoso Ghana nyina fon na yam hyehyɛ na wo ho ne se na ebinum susu se dum so yi ene me se ese yi de ti ana se de adea na eno no ena mpadifo ne ye di nkomo se ha obi ne ba ye bedi hu nkomo ye de ewura yi sigi nsensem a ekọ so se ne compared to 2 no ho asem no akwa akosisen and His Excellency can send me for home May ne da di kan ye May day no and this for actually my dream side na kwesa for one na bi ne dia ye be di ho nkomo ye piem wo labor unions no a His Excellency May day no a wo tere na dwene for ghost names bi a ne Minister of Finance Adaroma edi mpanifo akekomiti abomom tumi yi nipa be 26,589 edi free payroll no so sisika yetumi save no tumi sisika no emu oduye papa 36,166,203 na eno ene yes Ghana Medical Association for say afari hwe na wodina ho bo no safo hene sa sa wa yi nipa sa edi free mu no na den wo party sensitivity biometric wo mo ye no mo kura no nkrofo mo hu se ye delete bedi edi free mu a wo mo nte ase ye nti ghost names ne hefa ne free na wo mo delete wo mo edi no wo mo nye ghost wo mo te ase eno ho nsem e wo ye kasi nsem mu a ye ba na ya ba Mpensenpensenmu kwaku ba ko junior crusading guide wo de atodwa ene 2 years ansa ndc for wo mekwa congress akoyi panimu ya obedi wo manim kan ya abaso enso amafo bi yi o muti piepie no ete ha santan yera Alban Sumana Kingsford Babin ene se 2020 wo pe bia kwa akodie no na no ene wo kire se kwan bia so obi obesore bia se president former president John Dramani Mahama yiditi a no bagawa ya ma obia na no kura no achi do engosi aga ma NDC ene ho nsem ne ye bedwene ho betimi ahosape me ene ho ni me number no a wo de fa ho a ye bekan wo nsem e de ama onya sa Facebook na ya abref metalim o de fa hwan no so ye betimi age waje nkyere na afi yetumi akenkan e de amamo na che se yakoyanim ene ye dwumadie no ye ne acting general secretary me aminipa yera John Buedu act ne ya che dodo say next time congress no munim se ja metanochi ne obi anim Ghana ha hese general secretary proper ye beko wo de aba aba mu dia na se adwuma no betimi ayo nti deja ebedi hu nkomo ena afa yera Ben Eduasa Swaga Papa former presidential staff papa life for the nyasem ketwa deja the whole Ghana make how say dey Mpensenpensenmu no nipa mienu ena na say adwumako mienu na so yasene NIB say naming control say ope baby do sika koto a NIB na de beko wo mu de hye foforo aba mountain so wo do sika to na unya akyede ya betimi aboa wo ne nkrofo TV abai plus bai ebi awukura unya sika nto bi fesika kuma bi koto NIB promotion ne betimi afa ahomo atumi ahwe bedwam dwumadie ya digital no utumi hwe de free unhia box kone fa sika koto wo se ne home theater LED TV and afa microwave ni nyama hodo bebre na obetimi enya free NIB usidan iron rods wo roofing sheet ni nyina no ene cement wo de beboa NIB phone number is 05014510500 05014510500 and 05014116997 and afa as usual yankasa ye lucky herbal or the V mixture e dia buy no ye ma edro V mixture was say ye da gra na was short dross e title dey ama no V mixture na say adwuma ebo nya adwuma atoa bo mo dey apa bi oba say na nsuo bi fifi wo so wo ene ade ne ma hodo a say ntwa yie wo ma ye ma ne nimu nsipin sita no wo use V mixture ibia lucky e ba dawro ma akofa ba obi ene madwumadene a wo bo ne abasobode a wagite wo man mu ne aman hodo so titunu every coast ne ade nti bobode a ene wo enya adwuma no ansa obetimi e V mixture drops ide agu cotton so no wo pia monko mfa wura mu oni se be adwene duduadua no a du be 50 minutes bi akwa woro we hwere se bibia tumi aye kama ma na asa achi kama na odi abo adwuma madawro ma ne de mpensenpensenmu e de brewo o ma de o makonya dada nti e de be ko o mo so ne o edi nkomo mema ye redo asare akwaba
ye nua
na fe mema acting general secretary so akwaba say this time they be call proper acting ya chana say
oh, it's because of the way your constitution is. Your constitution is said that say by the process so here baby you could do you know substantive general secretary was suspension
until say ya check who the akosi says so far no more yen day are they coming back I mean say on my back you bet me a substantive now
I know this different issues and sometimes we share the kokoko so on say one managing here creating more problems for the party and even to the extent that some of them are even at the local level course attempt to bring sometimes create some problems. I don't think we're beyond some of it. Oh, I know they're in here, Papa. Oh, because they hear any victory, no. So, victory in Swaba. And they're gonna for pay the MPP for pay. And they say you be winning, and that's exactly what we did.
But some people are impressed. Say, "What to me aboa my victory na but they are pushing senke be ya mreno so a and then na ye ko general na
plan. I also ne brebedu. Because won't me push. Nyame a na esre no e do okra na oni ahode aye den kwaye. Nti ahoden ne nyame mpai bo say betumi the ebo a share Ghana for no. You be boa ban no way to make deliver because they can politics I woman you won't because yeah you are dream pobia a gidi say you dream pono you to abamaya you bet me aboa no mine tumpon enti say nyankopon aboa na for the first time opposition leader winning massively over 1 million difference. Na we winning. Oh, are they?
On make us a microphone for na 1 million.
No, mejuma. Enye mejuma. Then there. As only as ne kotoko boy na the goalkeeper. O kobo boy ye share we make us me goalkeeper ni ye ndi share me 3-1. Ya share. You understand? Ti no there share da enye mejuma. O na me. Enti asudi kese se. Ye be hwe na power na e de amaye no. Ye be di ho dwuma na ye nkofo ne Ghana for as to who takes care of the party and government there and say no the name break crowd
yo yanko swaga ho ya mara kwa badada na yeso so as general secretary no pia boboba ne ade don't
I know na friend say Samuel Uku me name say no information body minimum no our hide them say
we want to no cry because minimum 2 years and I'm on the bear money so as a man for a while now was surprised general secretary
oh Michia I have for an pay say last elections no me contested as deputy and anyeye intino ya bompa say mreno so ya bet we say we test the waters again
with general no ankasa.
Well, the dynamics will determine that. That ambition is there one day. But as to whether it is this time or some other time, the way our dynamics in the something in the offing. Your mom call general deputy no. In preparation towards the bigger goal. You heard the way our name Becky and then I will take the right decision. One money.
In effect,
why just to solve
put me in headline.
Put me drama me. Upcoming
elections for summarize your kind. They are kind.
We can chew. Chew someone for tipa.
France, free ho. Yeah, God's name is Dano Mayday. Afofida Dwada. His Excellency, Nanado Danko Kufado, Ekopi mo say ghost names be any idea dear ne Keno Foriata Boa Finance Minister Honorable. Amomo year free ho. Nipa by over 26,000. So and Tizika ne are buying to me aye, but before then no because na teacher for Apia Bontia Beka say I don't know woman try answer. Because April 18th woman dia say woman share no mun delete names ne ebe had your munko for bebre and register. And they are doctor for so the about mountains or Musokola near editing for be every more motiase, ya omunya ghost. Na say a banner sign say a one to say, Koya neighbor.
You, I'm say, President, or if there's one thing I'll credit him for in the last 4 months, now, the very much speech reading. Or kind speech and I think he's gaining momentum for that. No, I mean that's what me kind speech, and it's becoming as a baby on any journal. You know, he loves to read speech. You know, but as to whether the content of the speech is real, and I say baby aware of substance, and known as the CIA can want say me. And it appears to me to say, like Onoa Kaya, he's in a hurry. In a hurry, doesn't also mean say you clear everything on the way without recourse to lay down procedures. Let me say best practices. A teacher for a Nagrat for Kraha just before Sir Ghost names he delete. Almost say they have genuine reasons why almost teachers need be entering co register, and they gave those reasons. Then after 1 week, and Usha amount here lofty 400 and so yeah, we've saved. And then the next moment we hear doctors and others come and say, look, you cry and cry for hands on, no more year, Juma Crano. Why you mudi efrisu and I'm say yambo say yambo say like I'm saying, sometimes I'm saying those who write the speeches, it's either they are in a hurry to self-aggrandize the government at this stage. I believe say Bibi or so more year to make Ghanaians feel their effect on the system. There are a lot of opportunities for them. But some of those that they've chosen say, especially at events such as this, the next day. When people start doing the analysis, then it defeats purpose now, we will not achieve it. So that's now. What is he saying? That they've saved 400 and whatever. What about those people who are genuinely or whose names have genuinely been expunged? How do we quantify Omuso Musika as being part of the component that is mentioned here? Itibifu say, as I said, he shared the way of kind in his speech. He does it so well, very open speech kind. I've taken time to, and I even heard something recently. Say, Omoko, your friend was saying, was it Goswana? A friend saying, planting for
used to bring out
food and lunch. Also, some 1,000 friends, a metric ton capacity warehouse for every district. And so we program a pie. It wasn't any almost program be a susa.
It doesn't exist
on any of their manifesto, whatever plan and what.
But does it have to be in the manifesto?
It doesn't have to be. But who said plan B new? And yeah, the trust share speech nim. Now they have to look for money to do it. I want some. They won't tell you, but some of us, yes, we are soon. So we hear things. So someone's been near the friend saying because the man was not aware of what was in the speech. Then he read it.
Speech or kind one kind.
I'm saying this. They should deny it and because when we are talking about 216 a friend saying constituencies times districts times 1,000 ton a friend saying budget by nowadays are there. Meanwhile, Sika nowadays are project every bit of it every Canada. Would they launch project every bit of it every Canada and now every aspect of its use is determined already. I don't count.
But then it's in the right direction. Say you could do it for.
Wonderful. And yes, and you're wrong. But I'm talking about how it appeared, it sprang up in the speech. The president was not aware. So they now have to find a way to put flesh to whatever has been promised. That's the point. You see, whatever I'm saying here is to buttress this. You say sometimes, speech, here say president, you never ban ahead. No kind, no be some questions. No just sure so that people don't get him embarrassed like this. Right after a one man a lofty speech, will be so president. Our casa yepa bibia pepe. The next moment, then people start punching holes in.
But what has been the practice? Why a presidential staff are paying? What has been the practice? Speech no be true. Because me kai say nche bia no mampanyin dada George so kwaka bia duru ba na speech paper no kura wo bia page hwan won e dani dani minute say na esem de jan kuruma. What has been the practice?
So John and Kai sa document now before and Kabira ehun obe kan afra. So that's the difference. He read through and knew what had been written. Until no do that point and follow no. He noticed something was missing here. So please, I'm making a point, say, someone should read through and understand what is in there. It's a different, so those two examples don't match. One kind earlier, and could do some point now, he would just read. But what thing I'm trying to say? But because what kind who said, me free page way, me free way, and call her, and free and call her. If the page is not part of the list there, then something is wrong.
Yeah, Mr. John, last time I was here.
I think, sir, well, opposition, they also pay big.
Interesting.
Pay big. Just also say topic now, but also come. Because I only nana adudan kwa kufu adwa, nka onke kandi okay. So only nana adudan kwa kufu adwa, nka onke kandi okay. Insinuating. Creating an impression, say, you'll be or no be actual speech, not their brain. I think that we can do better than that. So, Unim Nankasa is a person who is very thorough. The speech be anyhow, Tanassim will be trouble. On one casa, each and every page is involved. Most of it are not natural. Most of the speeches now on one casa natural. Udo Jichima also on call for Flaster. You see, I'm here. But that you see, say no more here no. Now, you see, you want to build a nation. You're building nation, no, with everybody. And this will be a Juma or baby. Now, we should have a situation in our country. You better to share any panel with his professional experience. Near to a man at a Juma now or so. If it comes to us, happens in other countries. If it comes to us, say, go for a year Juma or honor, they have a way of providing honor our year Juma or Flagstaff house with information. What do you think should be done?
What if those are your own
You see,
people?
what do you think should be done? So, you see, Mr. We want to build a nation, and we will not fall by this trap. But they may can say, Nana Adudan Kwakufado. So name na kasa unke can they okay. So we try say John Mama the idea on the kind true. Nana Akufado the oko die. Near this speech in the bread. I think say it is unfair, especially why presidential staff before no. As more so where meaning so nim na ado I've got an ado idea must want to meet the president must say you understand me this a mun share that name no until na okay can they okay look sometimes you bisa nana say why that thing na sometimes so how bebre or never be look yeah MMDC last year be take a decision 212 you started meeting at 12 area. One by one, each of the Metro MMDC areas. Upon almost 3 a.m.
How much?
Maku. So, I am meticulous. Just sometimes, you know, politics in tea says, oh, I wouldn't move.
But say, on one shame thoroughly, then what happens?
When you will be a friend, your woman over the years, and some about ghost names, dear, and yet akin to just even government. Organization, biara. One year careful, not on a continuous basis. One check your staffing situation. Unya situation ebi obi eye adwuma occur steadily. Obi ye adwuma ebi a we jai kra e move to another sector. Obi ye adwuma ebi a oni hokra. One checking on a continuous basis, you get such a system. It's that so you were finance why you were treasury office before. Where you are there, any organization periodically they go through. It is a new patriotic party. Na banyapa. Na share ye expenditure. Ye di chia for salaries and wages na. Na ye idea say e was say ye hwehwemu ye. It can be say ebia aketua no kra no there are disparities. Because even as we speak now, closer for Adrian say omo premium other organizations, other bodies are the disparities. We are there normal thing I was saying. Either say go for a juma yen to take account of. And until the easiest way is to make sure say the people are almost every month are present.
Normal say normal. Obi ye juma na ye be ni dia film.
Normal.
Say or a ghost.
It is a na say ekobane say obi ebia because of say ebi oyare kra nti aye ni say anaya transfer no still no that because one hwe ye na transfer na one ye careful answer na usika na mbra bibia wo no na take it time so nti ebia wo say nka ba original place of work na biometrically obeye na ebia wontumi nye ya ebe capture say we ghost with time no it is rectified. Me want the growth here. If 23,000 plus, if it ends up, say by this process, you to me even 5,000. And this is going to take close to about 3-4 months to be able to be very sure. Say even the 23,000, if we end up removing about 5,000 workers omudi any said ke wo so a it's not a plus to us
ntale na yen twen na yen nyini na enwa
let me say na who started process this also is to tell you say omo a sebi ebia by the deadline e de ma ye na omo wo ho a omo enye go so no they must come back where your normal process and me who the kronti a eno so better than political game for people to start insinuating needlessly. Meanwhile, the currency also me say even if at the end of the process, even 1,000, do you know how much we save as a result of this meticulous decision by government? So, and we no we no so no and he say yetena say 3 years and 4 years I was say periodically you to me there I can't be I was say yeah and I think that if this process ends now yet to me by the deadline be my home be 2 months and 3 months yet to me 5,000 I was see a tracy because I go so no on sorry in begis gano nipa bi na yi sa sika no nipa bi na yi sa sika no I was see a tracy confeder ni ehun nipa kra owo wherever controller accountant general or wherever nipa no only at post na every month ni yetua no over a period of time why they call yi sika no na see about a month ago wo kuma say my deputy regional organizer me my information about some people bia almost share baby at the end of every month no almost sound call for emo bibi kakra e cost specific bank because iska
as aban adwuma yefo yet they are not
as aban mean omo collaboration me say yeah chi omo nyina yeah chi omo nyina we immediately my friend yes apprehend you now the network involved you see yeah chichiro on my sometimes no nya bibia na o say yeah dey politics.
Well, but I politics because it's in the system. As a ghost names in Bebre NDC, executives near there.
How can that be? How can that be? Yeah, okay. And sometimes no, I would say a bit more careful, especially where who are them and now opposition, who are them now person defend DBBR. You defend that. Who are opposition now person criticize DBBR. People look at you and just. Who can sacred any weight? A bit more careful because the syndicate can go beyond politics. And even if we are talking about corruption in government, no party the grand benefit you. Individuals
within the party,
a formal cartel, no. At the end of the day, no, they become richer at the expense of the party. To be we have said, me have seen some before. I've seen it. Oh, Ubetra Bemu for 8 years, 16 years, 20 years. You be we are not the party itself. It's impoverished. It's impoverished. Look, NDC. Who cover NDC and Kasa as a party account? But Bijidi say unya be 500,000.
Metro Mass for credit down.
Yes, sir. Unya be 500,000. A warm account. But there are individuals are millions of dollars I go do more. Inti omo wa ben mu no. Sen ko omo join hands. Na niema eko. Yes, side step procurement procedures. Ye use single sourcing and other ways to make people rich, you know. Na omo pone kakra bi. You will sit in this country and think that yeah boy be omo jisa sika no we omo cream profit na omo pone kakra bia no ma man kakra opposition they are never because say like yeah wa be we it's our business people no je super normal profit na who are be when this opposition on my contract so the no ma kese no opposition no so we say hedging the future no pone kakra bia ma then we as politicians will come and sit here defending because we are in government, criticizing because we are in opposition. I think that we must move further than some of these things. May cultural say, Nanado is a thorough person. I said, no, cannot. Not me, no. Say, you're way. Na me PF ha. Na assembly AC. Now was a government taking action. I was a question in manifesto. Say, Saturday and you throw away a manifesto man and say, take a decision. Yeah, budget for the year. I want to even be charitable to him and accept the Okampo. Yeah, budget for the year. Now, as part of implementation of the budget, you who say there's a specific activity here. Or say, yeah, can't one. Do I have to wait to the end of the year?
No.
Yes, then it's every sometimes 3 months and now 6 months. Yeah, supplementary budget. And until they have supplementary budgets. You understand? Or 4-year mandate. But you are not going to be judged by only your manifesto promises. You are going to be judged by the well-being of the Ghanaian. So what you mean? I hear near ma, a far rich now, a bit Boagan and in, but a coffee, a corner. I think, sir, we baby I hear kono. Me did says a bit more objective. Na ye jai say, na me walk flaster house. Intimidate my son ever to form now cover baby concert. Mama koka embarrass me hono. Ye be jai. Na ye to me nya a nation na ye nyina no. Ye be to me aye man abo. Be me can see so say na do dan kwa for the sebi odi mo bia ofre na kwa.
Encha ye be ko cycle na piem wo ho a kawadwe na ye de bre wo ye nya nte say demolition exercise be koso. Na hefa potting because I said during answer ye beto aba na ade na Dubai secretary Dubai na manfo ani abredwadifo ya wa de pa say what we say be kwan fufura ya yo no pavement no so na o metena ye adwuma ewi ase na say ye koto aba wie na o maba beguso bebre ye na chief executive chere say o pese otu o mu free ho ye de politics and na ye demolition no because ye nya de hwehwe na and I said then ye koso brepem ye beko ne ya kwa hwe de ye koso e wo circle honorable do aside politics is say do baby ye ja etre bi sa because ye de no de anim kan am say e
politics we are all in politics. Sabi, now we have become the ruling class. Okay, iti ufia bemu ba na unim how the system is governed. Na say ubi ba na okoso blunders. Now we need to say incessantly these blunders are becoming one too many. To the extent that a man for Mpensenpensenmu wo krom ha Professor Martin Munyina kata some mistakes na ya also. You heard it. Okay. People are beginning to raise issues against you. Show leadership by another peace council, Ashanti regional branch. You know, it's not like me, politician, and I many opportunity I better studio ha, and I me kasa keke. And the fact that I mentioned Flagstaff House, my Juma or Hope, and I assume a form doesn't mean a civil servant to be and be at them. Because you guys don't discuss the manema with civil servants. Politicians now, we discuss you know, we are in it together. That's one thing. How you got information, intelligence issues, almost to me be too jano. Because it's part of the political game, and we better get used to it. And you say, "Ubi na civil servants." The civil servants who don't know politics. What is their interest? They won't even. We say they are indifferent. But we have politicians, and out of politicians, we get issues. We hear things. Let's not make it look like Ubina, like civil servant. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm saying, sir, the president, if he had been that meticulous, as John wants to believe now, and trying to send our kind. So of course, okay, yes, your funding part to 26,000. Out of this 26,000, even before I be you, there were not grateful raising issues. Now these GME, but would they?
By a moment in that deadline, they all had a deadline.
Yes, but they also they gave genuine reasons. I listened to some of them. Say, teacher, ni na no, what man assignment so on chradie, ewo village be a sebi. The incentives they are kind of saying
on one thing
just
how to even
assess them to even get that information to them, you know, and yet that's easy. Or not to what try said that so try there. Now how to assess that person is difficult with such an information. Then in between, you know, as I saw ba just kolano at the tre no ba Accra eba beye sa your friend say, okay. Have someone thought about the implications and all of that? It's, you know, more deadline, but they're asking for extension. That's what I heard them say. More and so that now that they know, say, when you have brew idea, we will also, as association, you know, heads will ensure, say, they find all kinds of means possible to get this. And then 1 week time, you have demonstrated to them, say, that's what has happened. And now, some of them have become victims. My victims say, you are also self-aggrandizing yourself with the figure, say, when saving X amount of taxpayers' money, which is not true. Because if all these others are when you would free, so I would arrive at this figure. Babaka, what have you achieved? So for me, I think, say, like I said earlier, some of these things could have been eliminated. And I'm sure with the meticulousness of Nanado, if he had read through all these things earlier on, he could have raised some of these issues like I'm raising. And then others will start punching holes in the speech. That's my point.
Yeah, quite these issues. So we are now by ECG and compare two matters. NDC, mobile Congress or now. Because I said, I mean, a tour baby and chair, and there will be one dear Cosso, and now we're unity, or now we're unity. I did down no parliament to cry the members of parliament, Marco, APM from the north, because President here, Catchers were incompetent, no cry will pay, were you very incompetent. Just what I said, yeah, were ye ministers, no crying, said they were ye and the Jumanwa. I said, John, well, so, and to wake cry, the abandon say a Cotuaba pass, go ye. Will be so on good NDC and no say one support on any idea. What's going on in NDC? Still money into Musa about where you're 20.
Nanaya, MP before, Ufusomu Lusu 2060 elections. And Cabano Munchin Sekai.
Oh, Mother.
Bisamo. Omoyan winning, before they won elections. How was the
but your party seemed to be okay before elections. That's if you knew. Then people that tells you. That tells you.
No, I mean, I sorry position. Kurasa who pay dia. Sometimes they vote. Church. Once there is the Obia want a choice. Obia to me a choice there. People, when they want to compete, for me, any big deal. Say President Mahama, so we're in a term as a vice president, and we're in a term as the first one term as president. He has to decide whether or not Obe contested and has uncontested. He cannot be an automatic candidate as per our constitution. Party constitution. Ultimately, automatic candidate. This say yes, Antonio Swaba, as flag bearer.
Well, but Twaba will be unity. And I'm more kind of say. Obi unity those 2016.
Yeah, I mean it's normal. Yeah, normal. President Rawlings, we in the first term or second term. People will talk you out, try to talk you out of it. President Kufuor, the same. It is John Mahama, it is only a matter of course. Say people feel say we are incumbent. It's only proper that they give you the chance to do a second. Yes, will be into me contest, and I say there weren't people who could have done it. But now that we the term, because we are in opposition right now. People have all kinds of theories, reasons why they thought we lost. For us as a party,
that hasn't been done yet. You are in the process.
Exactly.
You don't even know what happened. You see, but
now you tears. I don't say who contesting me until I see anybody picking nomination form or filing. I don't believe in some of these things. Sometimes people use this thing to, we say to brand themselves. So spotlight in the so. Na yen bonidi ye kasa na bonidi no so nya yi keke enye for odim say last minute ye koye fa form so onko but ya manidi aba system ni mama ye kasa ya bonidi nti eno ye mfa nye a friends as a party what we are doing es yama ye take committee no call round na unti nkrofo nsema amobeka as being almost a view on how things went or what brought about the defeat. We are waiting. Hopefully by the end of this month, May, the report should be ready. Report number out. Mpensenpensenmu basis nkonya. Ni asese the report no ni sebe nyansapo ye bebo efiri mu ebetimi di a build the party no. No na ye hwa ye.
It's looking like akrofo dunkron. And I don't show neighbor.
Oh, don't sound the
according to the general secretary MPP for the paper.
Don't sound the me sure say
the names are coming.
Don't sound the
they are coming.
Say you can say ahin na wati ya bia be numbi nti enye bibi ye manin corner haywire sa we won't allow that. Say ye be share CV ye be ye vetting ne nema CV ama ya sure say sabi obi a ye pushi no enye obi a obeba be so bibi mu akose no enti analysis na ye no ene be kire say President Mahama and amanfofu say ono ara na onsan kwa edumre no de no ho ba na say o contest others so be ka so bi a President Mahama nti banti ye so ye withdraw and I say we are, which is fine. But so say they can still contest him a open democracy. Yegina ye wo sa opportunity to send na ye kan earlier do ye friends congress so sa pepe won hwe nim say we are general secretary dada now we are deputy general secretary dada now we are friends, we are ye nema boom, we work together as a team. But when it comes to the competition, now say John and the boss ni friends Kwabena Japan. But when the opportunity came and the power was given to him, one fanye juma, and I'm not sure oni omo ekuntokwa. They may still be on whatever terms they used to be. Do you understand? It's personal. Say we hear me former boss, and I say we hear me say, and I hear me say. It do soon as I also full say, baby, I persuade you. You have what it takes to present yourself for some other service, higher call, and I say, Bibia.
Make break. But Mr. John said, seeing what's going on, no. Osha said NDC Green Book by. Looking at what they said, say former President Bebaye, former President Nyama Montez won could be more than your Bema Becasson de a Kaunonquanka, or Maninianco. But then, where Pia Bontia or no book I watch or the air coto, or Ghana was the first of its kind. Say, and I say it was a bit surprising to people like, that book there, we had a coto. Is it something that is showing so we now beba? Now, or your dash or ya way in it, or Tina way in it. Do you think, sir, they didn't believe in what he was doing? I do your nasa or munis or ABBA de bow.
You me that. I'm sorry. You see, we nya there, mama. And it's in air sometimes, you know. Go for big kasa about event AC war at that political party, man. Sometimes one whole time. They play out here. No what tranche, no what say. Because enya idea mama say over political party. Na especially over opposition. Na there will be some few difficulties. So let me tell you. And who difficulties, it's not any pay. Over managing the difficulties. But if an impression is created, as if say maybe are the leader or leadership of the party because of some few difficulties. Only control. They can't manage. They can't do this. Now, who crowd Green Book, how they call around, everything is rosy. I say, who crowd the name now, and he said, because the party. I say, now, who did the go for Angasa, only almost years are rosy, roller coaster. Now, bizarre, Jose. Na omo buye kwase ana so omo dadai but say dem catch her no enya ade enwanwa nti me no me nko that direction ye be bo omo na because so man say ye no say NPP or power and they say tra power forever. Na NDC ngua.
Enya papa.
Mbwa obia. So, omo reporter omo be. A reporter normal way, ye disikama way na we ko ye say the devil. Ebi anokre, no ebi anokre bi nya nokre. Ebi so the attention ne say. Yeah, who are bemu na wa anya very careful. Na party no anya stronger. Unja nkofo dane omo power brokers a yento abama omo. Na say yento abama omo na omo ne crazy kana. Sikani chemu no create problems. A creative pop mete Ashanti regional chairman of your party. Say
yeah,
last minute sika e wo say edema the constituency for polling agents then man. Out of 47 constituencies now. Sika na saka here for 17 pe.
Na dey aka
fa he no untumi pom bisa. Because the other sika na ba oro onye accountable to anybody. Onye part of the elected executives of the party. Senke ye na nka national treasurer na ebia national organizer na general secretary ama directive say region musika osa musaka no ndie ye the way ye ntia ba ya nke ye 17 utumi for general secretary say maza sika na we buy no but we no because the bakra so ade go bag we buy no who confront we can we he's not accountable to anybody. Sometimes sika chemu kra no any who is sharing them because the omonye officially elected reps of the party. And also one own clicks. That means because look, we have brought half of that Ashanti region. And some part of the northern region, no power players are no more chasing canoe. Clear say they were heading for a disaster. So what we did was to make sure say yeah boy on that disaster now landed a crash said they are crashing. So I need to know lessons. And also more, but and yet as easy as you say, oh, I bet until over here no, all of a sudden some people are that among can spring it up because of their network with government and all that. But it is up to you as a party say, even with us, the winning power. But that's not the end. Your target yeah, no. We know your CD a target. Some of the constituencies are. There were some constituencies near you didn't see be winning, winning. Very soon, national executive will take a decision. Said every elections
to assess.
Committee in place. Committee in place. Assess review. Near say. Then ye I will say your cost a year more need to benefit. And he found a touch, in terms of the structures, in terms of how I see a campaign, your message, how I go for receive message, a quite fast so the message in a call one more players involved on we in the year. So, until by say July, no, near crass our documents. And also a bois and malfunction now because as I speak now, 2008 election year, Lucy, ye war committee on Mudim Hojuma. And Osha report on the buy now. So I report no a report for me for victory in 2020.
From 2008.
2008 report no. A reporter because that time we were bem.
And the name was bem 2020 never.
No say yeah Lucy yeah me crisis yeah. For victory 2020.
Ya home somra na ye to aso ye be rem compared to ECG sense mo ekoso no na politics then and then they asan be hwe MPP for animu ana then ekoso ye betimi their lessons moving forward. Lucky about wa makofa VK and afei na bia da Roman ye dem Mpensenpensenmu ebre ye home so aba na ato ayo komo. Yama wakwaba na ochaba pounds maduna yenche yebesi mountain so cycle na ye na afia mankwanta makula kodi nkomo Ghana for beka o madwen na no no adwuma ko bi na so yasen de bre wo mprempren de Mpensenpensenmu and the bro NIB and afe Lucky V mixture Lucky eba for akofaba monteso o madaroma ye acting general secretary era John Boedu and afe former presidential staffer former member of parliament adenta yera ya nuabema Edwasari ena adwuma enne anapay yen komo ayedie no yedi mienu amanako wakogu de ka ECG dum so na ba bi mana John is it like I said politics in a day here because we said say dum so na eswetwa no as a beba February into as a wa fun baako na the whole nation 70% went off yesterday.
Everywhere they say we nya dia I will say a bread say a ban total darkness. I see in history, I say 2 times they see. January 2016. Anyway. Don't so they are shed hardcore off. Now we take great boss now. There me feel it say I was saying go mo yen term say okay was a reasons the bantam since bia afi no ka say the opachra and say also mo share log no mo share reasons here and maybe a lot of reasons into and a banasa. For instance, what you feel that will transform our honor diabu just so I know where anything. These are some of the things. I just don't want to play their PR for them. Oh, I got a MHH, no my reason. Yes, reason, you know, and yeah, they're to assume, ever point it out to them. You understand? Because, Jin say, although say if we are 2 times in our whole way, you know, but GD says some of them, you know, we should have a way of managing it. Said that even announcement of it, you know, Ebwa say, to me, I prepare on kakra. But say, yeah, man-made course, there's no way I be on before. And me GD say no be to me at all. Meaning so person
ECG, of course, ECG says me
Millennium Challenge accounts. First one, His Excellency J. Kufuor Nakojibai. And it's a modern boy in it, you know. Now, yama a compact too. Now, you buy, you know, now, the previous government, you know, I couldn't nima ankasa. The aka and say, and Kayabejia to now, I started.
But did you campaign against it? That's the whole but
ECG,
you be you ready. Into you buy anybody, you be managing how you be here free. Was it like that?
No, why not? Why not? Say, I dare or now there are benchmarks so much and on campaign gets over in no. For instance, concession near now or Begino. You see, the man who are pretty for 25 years. I have a problem with that. Even as we speak now, yeah, can say better so about 20 years. Possibly crab a bad down kakra. Near to me, assess omojuba omobeye, whether a beneficial or not. They might dream put the engamba as 5 years. But 2 years and 5 years, and so I'll be over invested. Go as part of the project, you know. Also, to me, invested close to I think $100 million within 5 years. You understand? And yes, will be very investment. Now, on your sure of continuity over a period of time, what the effect of it is that 1 year, then they will put pressure on PURC to increase tariffs in order for them to retrieve their money that they invest in it. But one way I want to say, you can't say investment now. Do we monitor to make sure say, oh my yes, investment no more canana? Well, no more idea no more use system there or na there in your music, music, pan no more call. Indeed, I worry now. I also here because you won't be that. Aqua Vitans. Oh my Ghana water, then the ecosystem. You will be tema shipyard. A lot of it, the young assets in a war, no more ban, no more manager, no more you musica, no more facapre and shame. It is also your dear name major concern. Another major concern, no, the monopoly. Almost yeah, bidding now shortlist. I'm almost shortlist say there's 5 companies. But now almost call for say, almost far, almost one of the companies no one managing in now. Your dream, no, creating needless monopolies. for one company to manage the whole Sikajie in ECG. A major problem. You understand? Yeah, dream no one and no put the between a catcher almost say and no the penny. Young crazy,
but is it as easy as that? Like
so
what sign the contract? I wrap parliament
contract the contract what sign we now to be can she as and can she. Oh, never because you are a new government. We have the right to say Yenji. We have the right as a government to say Yenji. See show now overall benefit I benya and do the losses I being care for now and for the future. If I can say Yenji. Now then who brings Ghana to India? So be as a contract and Mr. Yenji who chime. There are other political and diplomatic implications which we are weighing. So there are also another major area. Yeah, she say. I know there are CNG, yeah, beba 2 or 3. Now ya check or mine at their mom, near to actual performance. The to medit. And it's our monopoly, no, and no omojitum, yeah, they are bejatum. Workers are also concerned. How na is it no? Ya careful, even before workers no cry. Where ya there would the Emma Ushe Ghana for involvement. Diana Airquay says single company in a foreign company in domestic individual local way no influence a woman any day. You be we are saying no obe manage at the end 25 years. Say experience been obe acquire. Said you be no be acquire. Ojakwa who to me manage crowd you because you are not part of the integral management of the thing. Assuming say the omode bano omo be bibi papa. You both say you virtually fall in there. It is they said there titine ye kan no. First no ukoto a friend is saying ukoto zigareta. Say zigareta you turn £1, you turn ma you net £2 shame. Zero be virtually a day chow. Who can say a day chow? Your person who are quite taste for it. It be do baby no, it do baby. No more ye say £2 if you. Since you are addicted to it, you better so from £1 to £2 over top. You understand? And say you be manager, and this is a national asset. You don't can for obi a complaining, and I'm a until you the koshe obinsa na local content in him. Who expect to say because omo billing arrangement, collection arrangement in nema enko ye accounting apart from the line losses are too bad. The level line losses no was so and it's all about investment and all that. Apart from difficulties I name some one in nema. No more running for 20 years. Not local content in omu jama obi try. After over kwa mocho some be running amount. And also another major area, and also another major area, I know ECG workers. So, say ya sabi ya wohoi as a buying, and your profit spend a share profit. I share quite a bit so Ghana for ebenya ejuma aye productive in raising the kind of profit I pay. Into workers need interest. A major concern.
But the workers don't believe you.
Oh, say we don't believe.
They see how so more to me more so more body. But even the what is in the contracts, they are not seeing what you are saying.
Because that is what it was. And nothing you sing say that aspect of workers, no. Omole of neniamana or say you protecting a year. As for work, for instance, this is something I make the last 2 meetings economic management team a day on my report in the back. Because we're pointing to it. Said no, wait, say. So I'm gonna call back. So the next meeting, and in this discussion, and I don't see Jinabia, you can't go out and discuss with workers. There's no way you can because one person. Although from the background, say because we are available and we have the voice in it, we get feedback from them. Omo also concerns are omo omo the brain, and we articulate those things to make sure say you be we shape policy no man aye. Nti nya dia obi to force it down the throat of any worker. A proper discussions beyond the area. See jitu jina because nyina no so no one obi nso na edili. There were some agreements. There are some also come back to get them to agree with you. There will be some Ombetuwe decided say it is immovable.
But in the speech it didn't sound like you were afraid na more year when you it sounded as if say
they say mayor analysis. Mayor analysis based speech the one say first net to say mayor analysis based on what it was, where we are, and the American system say we obi so da nyame adom Dr. Baumia LED economic management team no call New York. Omo ene mpinfo a omo da no aye discussion bebre a baby American edu omo edu. You understand? Baby American baby kasa also change. Make kasa also because you still need further consultations with a lot of stakeholders. So na me tell you, until you point baby away do you should not sound as if say it is immovable. You understand? Na yahwe. But ninina aye council no. Ninina also what deadline. I was say it to me meeting within a very short. I'm saying in total say a complex issue. You are very careful. You better yakoko be there. Creative problems are my own. And you share idea ninina say in the future 20 years so say 15 years and a concession be take care. Then I sound call back to be a wa because me sometimes I secure the be because look, why you careful and protect workers workers almost severance awards ne omo we cry na bro sika no cry na eba no ube he no ube ka say oje say 400 you understand oje be say $400 billion workers severance award one protected in the compactor a buying sika obekwa akope e de etua workers no e bro it is a sika no wo ho a e bia ECG grass sika na ngo mo pe to put them on their knees no or to put them on their toes no e bia na endusa nti e ya dia a major issue and we believe say at the end of the day say yenya ni nyina akra na e be better send yenya.
Honorable Adwasare, what's your take? Issue na ba na say president kan ho asem na say yewie. And it sounded then at that time no say as if say more ton ECG and that the Jumayefo no ye be ye omu edi. The demonstrations upon demonstrations so. And they ntremu aba.
Well, before I'm by no so doing so issue no. I'm say the fascinating bit of it, which had always been my personal stance, even whilst you were by no. The fact say a bar say they spoke to the chief executive of Great Co. Young Professor, a minister, and I'm a deputy. What I say, yes. And
you mean the media?
That's what I'm saying. They would have called the minister. So they make it politics. Because that's the aspect that brings politics into this whole thing. Also, John Kasa was smartly decoupled the issues from court straight to the institution. Do you understand? That is my personal stance. And I have had brushes with some of our ex. He said, come on, me, who frame me on issue, not say, him say, the institution itself, our head, public relations wing was department, and as a public affairs department, and give you technical reasons and eliminate any political whatever from it. Now say wow, kasana uya, and now we can say yamakiato. Ochina be only a fraud and say bibichia from the first one. And I be channel. Say for me, I think they might have learned something from that, and that is the fascinating bit for me today. And if that is what they've learned, it is the best. Because before say, to get our people to work and be responsible for Omo Numano, these are the kind of things we should do. So that they don't sit there and think, so, me minister to cover me. That is the kind of thing that used to exist. If it's something that is going to continue, you know. But then, sometimes the chicken, it comes home to roost. In some way, you can't ahead, pre-power. The issues are, near ya twisting, near for the expediency of the times, you know, you found two systems and poison the atmosphere. This ECG compact issue, John, like I say, or struggle part to try to make his case. So he's really struggling just to try to, because who be saying a question? Say, get politics, bina. Of course, that's for agreement. You have your mind, I have my mind. What will sound like a good agreement to you may not sound the same to me. Do you understand? So, Obia, first and foremost, what is the agenda? And yet, the interest of Ghanaians. And I dream. Some are looking at the fact that efficiency in the system, ECG system, improve so that it can bring revenue and also maintain staff. And that's what makes me more cry. I'm with me afa. Tia dream poa you kutano. Say any what dream boy bra does not necessarily mean it's a bad decision. For me, that's my little experience in life. Me my dream be amafa. Let me know where susu home. Me know susu home. By all means, who bet me your dream be a name the boy bra. But my intention might not be wrong. And I say born out of any negative thing. But when you impugn negativity to it, that was the impression that was given out there. So step out of this studio. Nabisa, the normal, he said, then I want ECG. They will tell you, I'm person so the staff too, so they've also taken a stance. Yes, and then I'm taking a stance. Before, yes. And still now they are still holding on to that same. They also think, say, you could have looked for other means, a bit me, they're raising funds other than going into such a compact and all of that. And trust me, I'm going to say by September, say, you take a decision, this whole thing will be cancelled. Say, no, yet the best interest of Ghana for me. This is our responsibility, I share in some. It is for them to think through it and decide. Say a good mind, say yen chia. And I don't want to use the word chia. Like yen and near be na enko enye better maya. I am all for it. But if at the end of the day the whole thing is like yen defer May, June, July, August, September na say delete dalia na sa maswa na say ya cancel so dia na among ma yehu baby amode yeko because from now personally, I'm confused what they really want to do. Nana Bekan.
It was clear, President Shrim.
Yeah, no, I listened to him. But if you listen to the workers subsequently, they are saying another story. Do you understand? The stalemate is still existing. So it's not like Yakasa, they are still calling on stakeholders to sit, according to the workers. Only, was it yesterday or a day before yesterday? I heard them. So my idea is that we should, for me, as a politician, we form a government to make life better for the deprived and even those who have it, but cannot leave whatever they are doing to come and govern the nation. So it's a privilege for us to think on their behalf and do things that will give them comfort or make life easier for them.
But do you believe, say, ECG value for money on their own?
For me, ECG, issues, we've known them from time to time. Efficiency issues. And you see, I also say, Ghana, for your attitudes. We have become so corrupt individuals. It is our dream, our dream, Papa. We lace corrupt mind, through whatever is happening. How will it benefit me? How will say you're designing something that is even efficient? The same I can ghost names. Yeah, dream one. Yeah, sure. Be a bit me. Ghost names every one. No, this one for plan. Or they, you implement this idea where machine be a use to meet money here. Or also drink quite fast to me chimps our machine. We are getting to that point where corruption is becoming a new jumemu pe yankasa ya dream. It's me who the way I can.
Yes, I individualistic. Yeah,
exactly. Wow, who call other places like Sweden and those kind of countries now could share almost selfless policies. Almost dream on my they don't care. It's a car in his lifetime. One drive a car, he will still live a comfortable life. System no creative. You understand? Train networks are working, so he doesn't have to drive. Buses, Juma, one driver and fan on ne dia or bedem ya planning amano. Ne kwa befa so nye bini ya keka. That spirit is slowly leaving us. Slowly. Obia pene dying. Oh, 2-bedroom and a hall, and a 3-bedroom and a hall, and a 4-bedroom and a hall. Rather, instead of thinking, say, you boom, to me build it like 100,000 houses from Sika, you bet me out to corners.
More politicians.
And your politicians, you see that is where the problem is. Please,
MVP die or baby. And this your baby, I don't have the MP for baby. I mean that kind of thing. It has been like that.
Nana. ECG asema and the politicians and the ECG. And the politicians are in a ECG. It is their own workers. If kind of saying illegal connections, and when they see it, what do? They be up baby amano because your zone area amano. Until him say area ha. Your friend saying we untia bill, but imagine a constant 200 Ghana every month. We so imagine a constant 200 every month. We so they make Okohu bypass no krana on be report. Na sa sika no monthly no na ye dey show no nsa na the 2-bedroom was a 3-bedroom na me can 17 no DC. Those are the things that are killing us in this system. You know, if a system that will come and create efficiency, like we are looking at, say a billing system, no, a better nipa influence, nimu after one interaction with one-on-one, is animal, you create system be a bit me na system be a manage, that's our system. Now so cry, bet me auditing the year, now man phone to me manipulate. Those are the things that this compact is all about. It's a man phone feel say it was something I was born out of a bad situation, but almost no the way I'm modern can no na afi akoye say esa say chinchinia yetimi ye bibi wo ho ansa ya ka say ayeyi
ye fancy na ye na ni ma me nu afia mankwa tamakro
dem man enko bet the oye no the okikan na hwe compact as it is the German ko ya nke mboda
yo ye fancy say dia mote ye didi hu nkomo no nipa me no ebo ayeye acting general secretary Yera John Boadu and afi presidential staff former Yera Ben Edu Asare
information
yeah,